welcome back to my world of stuff. It's time for one of my regular physical media updates. And I didn't think I was going to be doing one this week because didn't think I'd actually picked up very much stuff. And then I remembered I did have a bit of a haul last Sunday when I went out. So there's enough to do a bit of an update. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 new Blu-rays in a book. So no comics, no collectibles, just physical media in its rarest form and Blu-ray form. So, yeah, a few odds and sods, which I will go through. Last Sunday, I was doing a bit of a sort out of some old books and DVDs and stuff. And realised I had a couple of DVDs that I could trade into CEX for a voucher. It was about 15, 20 quid, not a massive voucher. But I wandered in and thought, well, I'll see what it is there that I can pick up from the shelves. I had to go a look around. My local CEX, which is in Merthyr, in South Wales, isn't great for 4Ks. They only have a handful of 4Ks, and there's nothing I particularly wanted there, but a fairly decent range of Blu-rays. So I spent about 12 quid of the, you say 15, 20 quid voucher that I had on a few bits and pieces, and I will now show you what I bought. The first one is a TV series, little box set. It's a series that was on BBC Three several years ago. It's the series that made a star out of Aidan Turner, called Being Human, created by Toby Whithouse. It's the story, you may recall, of a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost living together in a house in Bristol. And they end up, I think it's the end of the second series, moving over to Barry when the show's filming moved over to Barry Island. So I've got the first 3 series on a Blu-ray box set. I've got the 4th or 5th. For the sake of completeness, series 4, I think was there for 3 quid or so, and I picked it up. Now, before I show it to you, this is unfortunately subject to the curse of CEX. You might have seen other Blu-ray collectors commenting on the fact that CEX have the annoying habit of putting these really hard to remove stickers on their boxes. There's a sticker at the bottom which has got the price. That's okay, that usually tears off. But there's one on the top which is a little circular sticker with sort of a CEX advert thing, which is a bugger to get off. You really got to be careful with it. It won't come off in one go. You can tear it off, and there's scraps that you've got to take off. I've discovered that if you hold them over a boiling kettle, that seems to loosen the adhesive and they pull off quite easily. Little hint for you there. But I understand that they're changing the label soon and they're going to be easy to take off as well. Anyway, the one that I got, Being Human Season 4, this is a bit of a mess, as you can see, because the label at the bottom, I think, because it was reduced, they kept putting new labels and new labels over it. And this has become quite, mucky. And the label at the top wouldn't come off. So I sort of gave up with that one because I'm just going to get a new box for this one because I think the box is irretrievable. But inside you get your 3 discs for the season. It's got Leonora Critchlow as the ghost character. In season 4, it was largely a new cast. You had a new vampire character and you had a new werewolf character. And it was the beginning of the series winding down. It ran for 5 seasons, but they sort of rebooted the cast in season 4. I haven't seen season 4 for a while, so looking forward to revisiting the whole series at some point. That was about 4 quid. I picked this one up for a quid. The only reason I picked this up, it's not a bad film. It's sort of a found footage type film. It's called Alien Abduction. This came out in 2014. It's the story of the Morris family who take a vacation in the North Carolina desert, home of the mysterious Brown Mountain ghost lights, which is a true phenomenon in that area. The youngest son, Riley, decides to keep a video journal. Little does he know that the events he captures will be more terrifying than his worst nightmares. So it is a sort of found footage type thing. I saw this years ago. It's not a bad little film. I reviewed it for Starburst magazine. The only reason I picked this up now is because there's a little quote from my review on the back. It's not got my name, it's just got the name of the magazine. And it's not a bad film. I'll probably watch it again one day, but this was about a quid, so I thought, well, that's not a bad little pick up. I also went, unusually for me, for some animated stuff. Now, this is unusual because I'm not a massive animated fan. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the stuff that comes out these days, the Encantos and all those sorts of things. I'm just not anime minded. But I do like some of the classic animations, so I picked up a couple, again quite cheap, and I think they're probably going to need new disc covers as well, because they're a bit grubby. First one I got is the original Lion King. This I think was $150, and this is back in the days when you had a Blu-ray and DVD set. The discs are in pretty good condition. Obviously, they've been watched quite a bit, but there's no particular problems with them. This, of course, is the original animation that goes back to 2000 and... I'm entirely sure, actually. 2011. The disc is 2011. But yeah, I've never seen this. I've not seen the remake that came out last year, the year before. And I will have a look at it at some point because I know it's a classic. It's just not... Animation isn't necessarily my thing at the moment, but I thought it might be nice to have a few of the Disney classics in my collection. Similarly with this one, which I think was, I don't know, I'm thinking 250. This is one I do like. The original 101 Dalmatians. I mean, Cruella came out last year and was one of my films of the year. I really enjoyed that. And I have very fond memories of 101 Dalmatians. Again, I've not seen this for years. And again, it's one I think I could bung on quite easily. A lot of these animations back in the day, I mean, the original, when was this made? I think in the early 60s. It's only 76 minutes long. So I think a lot of the animations these days are 90 minutes plus, which I think is too long for a cartoon. But I think this is a nicely timed, as I say, it's one of the Disney classics. Lion King is a bit longer, it's 88 minutes. So not hugely long films. But I think 101 Dalmatians is a proper Disney classic, and I'm quite pleased to have this one. This is another one, which, a more recent one. This dates back to 2017. I saw this several years ago when I used to work as a volunteer usher in a local arts cinema when I lived in Cardiff. And this is one of the films I put myself down for because it sounded quite interesting. I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen it since. It's Moana. Moana, starring the voice of the rock. Story of the spirited teen who sets sail on a daring mission to save her people. Along the way, Moana meets the once mighty demigod Maui, and together they cross the ocean on a fun-filled, action-packed voyage. Bring home the movie full of hard humour and oceans of bonus extras. And of course, this has got that earworm song, You're Welcome, that Dwayne Johnson sings rather well. So yeah, I'm very pleased to have this. This again was a couple of quid, Moana, on Blu-ray. And I also picked up from the same outlet. Is it the same outlet? Yeah, I can't remember. Might have got it from a charity shop. Really can't remember. And I also can't remember if I showed it to you in the last update. I don't think I did. This is Dark Shadows, Johnny Depp's Dark Shadows, from 2012. Saw it in the cinema, wasn't hugely fussed, but probably worth a rewatch. This is, of course, based on the long-running daytime soap that used to be shown on American TV, which never had much of an audience over here. And as I'm talking about it, I do remember saying all this in my last physical media update, so apologies, I think I have talked about this before. But yeah, I think this was a quid. Yes, I think I did. I remember when I bought it now. So yeah, this was a quid, and I will watch it again one of these days. Again, these two, I'm sure I showed you House of the Long Shadows, classic horror film from '83 with Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Vincent Price and John Carradine. I watched this, and I probably will do a retro movie review. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. Not sure if I mentioned this. Joe Dante's Matinee, which I got from an online sale, Zavi, or one of those, HMV or something. I think this was about $9.99. I remember seeing this in the cinema many years ago. Really good, fun film. It's about John Goodman plays a film producer in the 1960s who's making this low-budget schlock horror film called Mant, Half Man, Half Ant. And it all happens, it coincides with the Cuban Missile Crisis in October 1962 rather. Will the threat of genuine nuclear war distract the locals of the movie, or will they find it doubly terrifying? Directed by Joe Dante, of course. Described as delightful. Sure, I've seen it a couple of times. I haven't seen it for years. But this is a nice edition with loads of special features. And for some reason, it's got a advertising card with some sort of western in it. But yeah, nice little film available. Again, I'll show you the discs. It's got the Blu-ray disc, and it's got the DVD. Again, this is a throwback to the days when you used to get those Blu-ray and DVD combos. Last two are ones I picked up yesterday, so I certainly haven't shown you these before. Went to visit a friend of mine in Cardiff and managed to pop into a local charity shop on the way back, where DVDs, Blu-rays, 99p, 2 for a quid. And I picked up the original Poltergeist, Toby Hooper's Poltergeist, the original sort of that started off that mini little franchise, produced by Steven Spielberg and Frank Marshall. Yeah, it's one of the classic sort of horror films. I've seen it once. Must have been when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, it's all right. So I'm looking forward to revisiting this. I might put this one back for Halloween. I'm thinking at the moment of banking lots of videos of horror films so that I can do what everybody else does and do 31 days of horror in Halloween. So I might watch this soon, record a video and release it in October, which I might also do with this one, which I also picked up yesterday. This is Carrie, Brian De Palma's original version of the Stephen King shocker, starring Sissy Spacek. This dates from 1976. Again, it's one of the classic horror films. 50p. I mean, come on, guys. Why wouldn't you? So yeah, that's the two I picked up yesterday. And that's the most recent physical media updates, including a couple I probably talked about last week. One book to mention, not exactly a pickup. This was sent to me. This is a book that's published by PencilTip Publishing. It was when he was based in Canada. It's a sort of a small print label, which does books based on TV series. They do a magazine called Hootopia. It's edited by Bob Furnell, who I'm sort of friends with on Facebook. He does a magazine called Hootopia, which does lots of Doctor Who and fantasy material. And he does these books. Him and his co-editors publish these books called What the Fans Think. And these are critical analyses of certain TV series. They've done Torchwood, they've done UFO, they're doing the Tomorrow People next year. And the reason I've got this, it was a complimentary or contributor's copy because I've written a couple of reviews for it. The one of UFO, which came out last year, I wrote about 6 or 7 reviews because that's a favourite series of mine. And I did a couple of reviews of Sarah Jane Adventures episodes. One was the Empty Planet from season 4, and then The Curse of Clyde Langer from season 5. So as a contributor, I got a nice copy sent in the post. I mean, it's a textbook. It's a text-heavy book. There's no illustrations apart from the cover illustration because it's about the words and the opinions and the analysis by the fans. It's the fans of the series writing about them. Nice little books, which are available. I'll put a link for PencilTip Publishing so you can see the range of stuff that they do. If you're interested in this or the Torchwood or the UFO ones, which I've also written pieces for, and keep an eye out for future volumes. So that arrived yesterday. So that's my pickups for this week. Not a lot. More than I thought, though. I was thinking last week or middle of the week, I won't do a video this week. But then I remembered I picked up that lot last week and 2 yesterday. So it's worth doing. Right, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of my pickups this week. Let me know if you've picked up anything interesting in any of your shopping expeditions or charity shops or whatever. And yeah, just let me know what you've picked up. I will see you soon until I do. Yeah, that's right. Keep taking the stuff.